Number 5, we're going to look at the Commonwealth Scholarships. The Commonwealth Scholarships are also quite prestigious. They're funded by the United Kingdom, this time the Commonwealth Office. And as you know, there are a number of countries. There are, I think, over 50 countries that are Commonwealth countries. Commonwealth countries are countries that were originally under the British Empire. So the ones among them that are lower and middle income countries like Nigeria, people from those countries are eligible for Commonwealth scholarships. So let's begin by looking at the eligibility criteria. Number 1, you have to be a citizen or have been granted refugee status by an eligible Commonwealth country or be a British protected person. If you're a Nigerian, you're already a citizen of a Commonwealth country, so you're eligible for this scholarship. You must be permanently resident in an eligible Commonwealth country. You must be available to start your academic studies in the UK by the start of the UK academic year in September 2022. You must be unable to afford to study in the UK without this scholarship, and you must have provided all supporting documentation in the required format. I'm sure that many people from Nigeria would be able to meet with these. I should re-emphasize that for the Commonwealth Scholarship, having at least a second-class upper degree is very important. So if your grades were not good at undergraduate level and you don't have something like maybe a postgraduate diploma with much better grades, then it might not really be worth it to apply for a Commonwealth scholarship. They are really big on grades. So grades are really important for the Commonwealth scholarship. What does the scholarship cover? It covers your airfare to and from your country. It covers your tuition. It also provides a stipend. Specifically, it's 1,133 per month or 1,390 pounds per month for those at universities in the London metropolitan area. It covers a warm clothing allowance, so nice of them. And it also covers a thesis grant towards the cost of preparing a thesis or dissertation, a study travel grant towards the cost of study-related travel within the UK or overseas. If you're widowed, divorced, or a single parent, it covers child allowance of £485 per month for the first child and £120 per month for the second and third child under the age of 16 if you are accompanied by your child and they're living with you at the same address in the UK. And then if you declare a disability, you also get an allowance for that based on whatever determinations they make. So as you would see, the Commonwealth Scholarship is really extensive. It's a really beautiful opportunity. But don't forget that they are big on grades. So you would want to make sure that you have really good grades and then you apply for this opportunity. Before I tell you about the sixth opportunity, make sure that you've clicked on that subscribe button to subscribe to this channel. Like you would have seen, I have amazing content that you can maximize to become better and to become the best that you can be. So make sure you subscribe to this channel to have more and more of that content. Click on that subscribe button right away. Okay, so right now I'm going to be talking about the sixth one, and after this I have 2 bonuses for you. You want to stick around for those bonuses because one of them is a relatively untapped opportunity that you would like to know about. Okay, number 6, the Australia Awards Scholarships. Australia Awards Scholarships. And yes, I'm sure you must have guessed right. Those are funded by the government of Australia. They are targeted at people from developing countries, particularly those from the Indo-Pacific region. That tells us that they're looking more at people from around Asia. But that is not to say that they are not relevant to people from Africa or people from Nigeria at all. They actually have a number of opportunities for Nigerians as well. The only thing that you need to bear in mind for the Australia Award scholarships is that they usually have priorities for each zone. So like for Africa, for Nigeria specifically, they usually have country priorities. So they have specific fields that they want to fund for that country, for each country. And so they might not have the kind of course that you want, or they might not be willing to fund the kind of course that you want them to fund. You need to first find out what their funding priorities are and then apply based on that. Apply if you are in such lines, if it's something that is relevant to you. And if it is not relevant to you, feel free to walk away. I already listed 5 other opportunities. You can explore one of those. You don't have to go study something you have no passion for just to get a full scholarship. No, there are way too many opportunities available out there than for you to do that. Now let's look at the official information from their website. Australia Award scholarships are offered for the minimum period necessary for the individual to complete the academic program specified by the Australian Higher Education Institution, including any preparatory training. So what that tells you is that they are not looking just to fund master's degrees. They're looking to fund different types of courses, including bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and even vocational and further education courses. I like that. That's quite extensive. But again, remember that, like I said, it's not everything that you're going to be eligible for from Nigeria. You need to find out what their priorities are for our region. What are the benefits of an Australia Award scholarship? Number 1, you have full tuition. Number 2, you have a stipend, which they called the contribution to living expenses. You have an introductory academic program, which is a compulsory program prior to the commencement of formal academic studies, covering information on living and studying in Australia. Overseas student health cover, so that's medical insurance, pre-course English fees if deemed necessary. So if you need English language training before your course, that is covered as well. Supplementary academic support may be available, field work for research, awards and masters by coursework, which have a research component where field work is compulsory. But like all the others, you need to note the conditions. So first of all, they require that you sign a contract with them that you will abide by their conditions. And what are those conditions? The most important of them is that you're going to leave Australia for a minimum of 2 years after you're done with your course. Failure to do so, it will imply that you have to refund every single amount that is spent on you. So if you don't want to refund, then make sure you are willing to comply with that condition. So that's it. Those are 6 scholarship opportunities for Nigerian students that allow you pursue master's level study or some other types of study in different countries. They are funded by the different governments of those countries. But like I promised you, there are 2 bonus ones that I want to mention very quickly. The first is the New Zealand scholarships. So New Zealand also has scholarships that they offer to people based on certain criteria. You might want to find out some more about them. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to bring up comprehensive information about it because at the moment the country is not accepting people due to COVID-19 restrictions and the lockdowns and everything. The second one, which is for me the biggest bonus that you can get to know about right now, is the tuition-free study scholarships in Estonia. Yes, tuition-free study in Estonia. So what is the meaning of that? It means basically that you can study without having to pay for tuition. Now, tuition-free study is not really a full scholarship in the sense that you don't get to have a stipend, you don't get to have a travel allowance, and all those things that we've seen with some of the fancy offers that I mentioned earlier. But it is important to note that Estonia is relatively easy to access. It's an EU country. It gives you access into the European Union. You get to have a Schengen visa, so you can still get to visit many of the other EU countries. And you can do all of that tuition-free in Estonia. So if you have good grades and if you have a strong application, you might be able to get a tuition-free position. They make use of a centralized admission system for their master's studies as well. You might want to check that out, do a Google search, look for how you can apply, and then look specifically for tuition-free places. Look for the courses that have tuition-free places and the universities that have lots of tuition-free slots. Apply for those and make sure that you have a strong application. Many times they would be gauging your grades as given on your transcript, but apart from that, they would also be looking at your performance in their interviews, because many of their schools conduct interviews, so they want to see how well you will perform, and they want to see your essays and things like that. Make sure you have very strong applications, and you just might have a tuition-free position. But this is where it gets really interesting. Once you get into that country, you would be surprised that they also have some amazing scholarship offers that you can still access after getting your admission. So, for example, you might be able to get a government-funded scholarship that gives you a stipend every month, which I think is 300 and something euros. If I remember well, that is called the Dora Plus scholarships. And then they have other ones like that. If you have dependents with you, there are things you can apply for. All in all, it is possible to study there either free or at least with very minimal costs relative to some of the other EU countries. And if you're looking for a career, particularly in the world of IT, information technology, that is a great hub to explore. Yes, that is it. This has ended up being a long one. Imagine, I was thinking it was going to be just a few minutes and it has dragged on and on. But I'm hopeful that it has been worth your while. Make sure that you look out for each of those scholarships. Go on their different websites. Look out for the dates that you need to apply by. Prepare strong applications, and you just might be sending me your messages from whatever country you've been able to get into without having to pay. When that happens, make sure you send me a shout out. So that is it. Hope you've subscribed. Remember to subscribe. Make sure you also share this video. Let other people get to know about the amazing opportunities that are available to them. I hope to see you in my very next video. Do have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.